to be able to just make a choice on your own and just be able to speak for yourself.
This one's wife, the world's most untalented woman. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Mark Twain once memorably stated, "It is better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt." A comparison with that would be to suggest that if you're an untalented nobody, it's better to keep your head down than confirm that you are a talented nobody. Unfortunately, that's not something that this one's wife is capable of adhering to. Driven by the necessity of publicity, because publicity and fame enables her to control people, draw fuel, and access residual benefits, she keeps on reminding us of how untalented she is. Many people scratch their heads and think, surely she must recognize how useless she is, what a flop she is, and she would stop. But the fact is, she doesn't recognize that she's a flop. It's as if she is surrounded by her own personal posse that applauds everything that she does, that shouts, "Darling, you were wonderful," after she goes to the bathroom, that reminds her that she was set on this earth as a living saint to tell us all how to live and how our jam ought to be made. This invisible group surrounds her, telling her, "You look magnificent in what you're wearing. No, you don't look like Kermit the Frog going to church, or Inspector Gadget about to be booed. Not at all. No, you don't look like you're wearing a tent by Army Surplus. Absolutely not. Those children are going to love that book. It is brilliantly written. Yes, nobody does sexy burger flipping like you do. Go and nail it. You're the best." The distortion field that is her narcissism regularly and repeatedly tells her that she's fantastic, brilliant, unique, pioneering, which is why she keeps on fucking these things up. With some narcissists, this distortion field allows them to plug away until they eventually meet with success. It gives them that indefatigable spirit that many people often think, gosh, I wish I had that ability to keep bouncing back after I suffer all of those rejections and knockbacks. With this one's wife, however, it's not so much about her persevering until she succeeds, but rather it's turned her into the unflushable turd. She truly is the most untalented woman on the planet and gives us plenty of material to prove that that is the case. By way of evidence, and as you know, I'm a great fan of evidence, I'm going to utilize two lists, one that I've created and one which I've utilized, which was posted on X by someone called @JD Eden Writer, which made an appearance on the Saint This One's Wife subreddit. This individual provides us with a useful list of the uselessness of this one's wife. Have a listen to this. Queen's funeral. She turns up for photo ops. The result is she's mocked for the tear in one eye, and her face is blocked on TV by a giant yellow candle. Number 2, Frogmore. She complains about Frogmore Cottage. She gets evicted. Number 3, Uvalde. She brings a camera crew for the ultimate cynical PR photo shoot. She poses placing flowers on an innocent victim's grave. Result, she's accused of inserting herself into other people's grief. Invictus. She relentlessly parades herself. Result, she's accused of exploiting veterans and making the games about her, turning them into a farce. Polo match prize giving. She seeks reflected glory and successfully grabs at the trophy. The result is the ultimate cringe video. She claps like a seal. Powdered coffee. This one's wife appears as an extra in a smug CEO's Instagram ad and screws up a fist bump. Result, irked customers return their coffee by post. CEO complains as sales go south. USO Christmas concert. This one's wife hogs the centre of the stage. Result, she gets isolated by the other singers. Bemused, they flee to the edges of the stage. Result, another cringe video. Oprah. This one's wife slanders the royal family. She gets a reputation for being a bitchy race baiter. Her barefaced lies get debunked as Oprah gets Markled. Netflix documentary. This one's wife moans endlessly and even mocks the gentle, kind, beloved, elderly, frail, dying Queen Elizabeth with a creepy, deep bow. Later, she cries in self-pity in front of a $40,000 throw. Result, she gains a reputation for self-pity and attacking her own family. Her popularity nosedives. Wedding. This one's wife invites Hollywood A-listers she doesn't know and shuns her own family. Token relative mother aside. She's accused of arch hypocrisy. Family photographs. She releases photoshopped images with allegedly what appears to be other people's tots and dolls. Result, worldwide exposure of the Sussex baby scam and another press cover-up. Next, Meghan. This one's wife grins in PR shots showing off her bump, which she clutches incessantly. Result, a litany of bizarre moon bump malfunctions which are exposed in photographs and videos. Spare. This one's wife writes Harry's poison pen book. Result, when Harry's book receives terrible reviews worldwide, she disowns it, calling it embarrassing. Podcast. This one's wife makes a me vanity podcast for Spotify. Result, a senior Spotify executive accuses her of being a fucking grifter. This one's wife pays Archwell cash to speak on an ageing feminist South by Southwest show. Result, she repeats her ridiculous porky pie about writing to a manufacturer of soap. Brooke Shields gives this one's wife a brutal put down. This one's wife turns up at a Fashion Mag Awards ceremony on the red carpet and hogs it. Result, her own PR girl physically shoves this one's wife off the red carpet to make way for a young starlet. The hapless PR girl leaves Archwell within a fortnight. Kevin Costner. This one's wife gate crashes his presentation. Result, Costner looks embarrassed. Pearl. This one's wife attempts a virtual signalling Netflix show of her woke book Pearl. Result, the show gets promptly cancelled. Ball gown. This one's wife struts proudly into Jamaican cinema, but it's not the VIP screening cinema. This one's wife flaunts a big pompous ball gown where everyone else wears cheerfully scruffy baseball caps and shorts. Results, she's relegated to row 10. This one's wife copycats the fashion of other more stylish women. Result, funny YouTuber comparisons. Who wears it worse? Paramount gate crash. This one's wife tailgates some mogul and his girl onto a red carpet. Result, bemused looks by Mr. Mogul and his trophy wife. Aviation awards. This one's wife gets Harry to pay for a laughable Living Legend award. Result, the Living Legends award itself gets mocked. On a worldwide basis, as a paid-for celebrity ego-polishing bauble. Result 2, no dining with John Travolta at the self-congratulatory dinner. This one's wife and a poodle are banished to the back of the hall to the naughty step level of hell, table 112. This one's wife spends millions of dollars a year on PR teams. Result, polls show she's more unpopular year on year. And that's a list that's been compiled and was placed on X. But there's more evidence of this talent-free zone. She couldn't hack joining the royal family. She was unable to manage wealth, privilege, and a staff that was appointed to help her. She writes a book for children that clearly isn't for children, and has piles of books unsold on her desk at home. She reads out the book on YouTube. The level of dislike of this video is so high, it results in YouTube thereafter hiding the dislike count. She has $1 million budget for clothing, yet repeatedly fails to wear clothing that suits her or fits her. She regularly gains platforms for speaking engagements, whereby she sends glass eyes to sleep talking about her favourite subject, herself. She was 6th on the call sheet for Suits. She wasn't the star. She's only able to get acting gigs through her dad and her former husband, Trevor Engelson. She launches the copied 40 by 40 campaign. It goes nowhere. She decides to march on Washington with Gloria Steinem. but then doesn't go. She campaigns for a picosecond for parental leave, then gives up. She takes 2 years to create a podcast which is ridiculed, not renewed, and then loses the Spotify contract. She derails any philanthropic or charitable works by making it about her. She's useless when it comes to getting photographed. She gets papped in a car park, leaving the dentist, at a burger drive-thru, walking past Cameron Diaz outside a restaurant. She launches a half-baked lifestyle brand which is badly named, bland, ridiculed, resulting in domain name hijacking, and then sends out 50 jars of jam with only 7 people admitting so far that they've actually received them. She tries to make burger flipping sexy. She completely fails. Quite the rap sheet of talent failures, I'm sure that you would agree. This woman is useless. Her narcissism enabled her to marry Ginger and get herself on a worldwide platform of infamy. But she has completely messed up. This is a consequence of the collateral consequences arising from her narcissism and the fact that, in effect, she's been over-promoted. She has nothing to offer, no talent, isn't likable, has no charisma, with the consequence that not only is it the case that she's inherently useless, so whatever she tries to do fails, but because of her behaviour, driven by her narcissism, she's so universally disliked that she faces a barrage of criticism with everything that she attempts to do. Thus, she's never going to succeed because of her lack of talent and because so few people actually like her. Nevertheless, we have this long list of talent-free examples, and I'm sure you can think of others as well. But perhaps now, I'm going to show you the pièce de résistance of uselessness of this one's wife. It's been captured in video form. So, settle back and watch this footage.
Hi, I'm Rachel and I'm in the kitchen today for the latest edition of Cooking with Flair, the series where we cook the runway. And today I'm cooking with Meghan Markle, the star of the hit TV show Suits and the founder of the lifestyle blog The Pig. So today we're making toast, a very fancy version of toast.
Yes, but it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. Like fancy, I think sometimes people feel like that's really daunting, but it's not. It's just trying to find a way to add an extra twist to make something that's ordinary a little bit more extraordinary. So it's pretty simple. We would start with like a great country bread or seeded bread. We can toast that if you want to pop that in there. It is inspired by my grandma's apple butter recipe, which I have just tweaked a little bit and modernized.
So tell me about The Pig. It's a very different kind of lifestyle blog.
Thank you. I started about 1.5 years ago, and I wanted to have just a hub for a really inspired lifestyle, from fashion, travel, beauty, great TikToks that I do with celebrities and influencers. All right, so it looks like our toast is ready. Can you grab that for me? We can start putting this together. I like to start with the apple butter, but we could do it either way. I just took some ricotta, blended a little bit of lemon juice, a little lemon zest, and some crunchy Marcona almonds.
So what are your feelings about pajama dressing?
I love it. It sort of speaks to that California relaxed feeling that I've grown up with, just taken up to a really chic level. So the idea of doing like a silk pajama blouse, even with your monogram on the side, right? With like great jeans or that with a blazer. The whole look, I think, if you can pull it off and no one's going to say that you actually look like you should still be in bed, go for it.
Cheers!
Toast with our toast.
It's really good.
Yes. There you have it. Perhaps encapsulated in no better form than this. Back in the days of when she was on Suits and running the TIG, or pre-Prince Harry, this one's wife was still seeking to enhance her publicity. And she wanted the world to know that not only was she an actress, fashion icon, but also that she was a foodie. And she appears on a programme relating to cooking. And what is she going to wow the masses with? Is she going to come up with some spectacular duck à l'orange? Is she going to do a ridiculously succulent and tasty beef Wellington? No. This bastion of untalentedness is going to make toast. Yes, she's going to make toast. Can you imagine how dim-witted, self-absorbed and useless you must be to go on a cooking show and say, "Ooh, I'm going to make toast"? What an utter clown. There's more talent in my left testicle than there is in this woman. It's absolutely spectacular just how fucking useless she is. That she blathers on about, "I'm going to make toast, but, don't be overwhelmed by it. Ooh, yes, it's ever so difficult. How do I slice the bread? Oh my God, I've lost it already. I don't know how to. If only I had a mediocre actress explaining the steps that I had to go through. Oh no, I've cut the bread, but what do I do with it? How do I toast it? Oh no, I'm at a complete loss." Only this one's wife would go in a cooking program and decide making toast was glamorous, essential, and talking about it in such an intense way. This domestic goddess sagely tells us that it's all about taking something ordinary and cue seductive voice, adding a little twist, making it into something extraordinary. It's fucking toast, woman. You slice the bread, you stick it in a toaster, and then you might add some butter, you might add some jam, you might add some marmalade. That's all there is to it. The world makes toast on a daily basis. It's done so for a very long time. There's nothing remarkable about it. And to try and suggest that there's something talented about you making toast shows what a self-absorbed nitwit you really are. The extent to which this one's wife seems to think that this is such an involved and scientific process, directing the lady that she's with to go ahead and toast that, if you will. Ooh, yes, issuing those instructions because it's too complicated for you to lift up some slices of bread, isn't it, this one's wife, and put them in the toaster? No, you're too grand and important for that. You need a sous chef underling to do it for you. Good job that the presenter of this absolute asinine piece of nonsense was on hand to enable her to pick up the bread and put it in the toaster for you. And then this clown tells us the process is inspired by her grandma's recipe. It's bastard toast, for God's sake. Now, while the bread is a toasting, this provides us with an opportunity for the presenter to throw in, "Ooh, tell me about the tig," in a rather rough edit, which gives the opportunity for this one's wife to talk about her favourite subject again, herself, as she bangs on about how wonderful the tig is, and the presenter thinks, fuck me, that doesn't sound original or interesting at all. But then, in a matter of moments, the bread has magically become toast in this special alchemist way that this one's wife has with food. And then, as you are ushered into the inner sanctum of toast secrets, we see this one's wife smearing 2 items onto toasted bread and then throwing some almonds on the top. Wow! I never realised that you spread something on toast in order to make it tasty. I just simply hadn't come across that. Thank goodness that the world's most untalented woman has clarified that for me. This is the ridiculousness of this one's wife. A litany of failures as a consequence of her lack of talent, culminating in behaviour as believing that making toast is somehow a special skill. Vacuous, vapid, useless. The world's most untalented woman, a grifting narcissist who is utterly incapable of realising how untalented she is because of the distortion field of her narcissism, unable to comprehend why the world spends most of its time laughing at her, and unable to stop because she can't see any reason not to carry on. Again, all of this comes back to her narcissism. It makes her believe that she's brilliant. It makes her believe that she's talented. It makes her believe that she's making a difference to the world, and imbues in her a level of self-belief, which, when allied with her complete lack of talent, just makes her the unflushable turd. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.